Millions of citizens contributed whatever they could spare to this project. For them, every rupee was more than just money. It was a personal investment in a vision of a society built on the highest ideals. That trust was broken in the most literal way possible. 8 individuals were caught siphoning these donations and stashing the bundled currency inside the temple's own public toilets. With state elections approaching in just 8 months, the political pressure was immediate. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath took the rare step of bypassing standard police FIR procedures to urgently deploy a special investigative team. The speed of this intervention raised immediate questions from critics. They began to investigate whether this rapid deployment was a genuine attempt to secure the funds or a tactical move to contain the narrative and shield those in positions of power. Internal security at the site has been breached. The project's spiritual mandate is now grappling with the reality of a coordinated theft operating within the temple's own counting rooms. To understand the mechanics of the theft, we have to look inside the processing office. This is where the cash was handled daily, and where a specific administrative loophole provided the perfect cover. This flowchart illustrates the hiring loop that enabled the heist. The workers counting the cash were paid by the State Bank of India, but the bank didn't select them. The power to hire and appoint staff rested entirely with the Temple Trust, who filled the room with their own relatives. These familial and personal connections created a network of deep internal loyalty. The people responsible for guarding the money were answering to the same people who hired them, removing the independent oversight necessary to prevent collusion. The physical theft was efficient. Inside the counting room, one member of the syndicate would stand directly in front of the CCTV camera, physically obstructing its view of the counting tables. Operating within that blind spot, the rest of the group swept bundles of cash off the tables and into concealed bags, ensuring the movement was never captured on the official security feed. They then moved the stolen funds out of the office and hid them in the temple's public toilets. This kept the cash on the premises, but away from the primary security checkpoints during the counting process. Once the shifts ended and the immediate risk of discovery passed, the members retrieved the cash and divided the take among the group. Millions of rupees were drained through the exploitation of familial hiring and simple physical blind spots. The system was defeated by the very people tasked with its protection. The operation might have continued indefinitely if not for an accountant named Mahipal Singh. In 2022, Singh identified significant discrepancies in the temple's donation records. Following the internal chain of command, Singh reported the missing funds directly to temple trustee Champat Rai, expecting a full investigation into the counting room staff. The response was immediate retaliation. Instead of addressing the theft, Champat Rai fired Mahipal Singh, effectively removing the only person documented as raising the alarm. Singh eventually took his findings to an independent journalist. This leak forced the details of the donation theft into the public eye, just as political tensions were reaching their peak. This revelation sparked a backlash from the movement's original supporters. Santosh Dubey, a historic figure from the Temple movement, joined others in filing official police complaints against the trust's leadership. The exposure didn't come from internal audits or high-tech security. It happened because one employee chose to risk his career to report what the system was trying to hide. The resulting pressure forced the SIT to take visible action. On June 25th, they moved in and arrested 8 people involved in the counting room syndicate. The arrests confirmed the internal nature of the crime. 2 of the detainees were State Bank of India employees, while the other 6 were staff members appointed by the Temple Trust. One specific arrest connected the theft directly to the top, Ram Shankar Yadav. He wasn't just a staff member, he was the former personal driver of trustee Champat Rai. The arrest of his own driver made Rai's position untenable. After months of dismissal and denial, the trustee finally resigned as the investigation moved closer to his inner circle. But just as the arrests were made, the flow of information stopped. The SIT has declared its final report strictly confidential, preventing the public from seeing the full extent of the institutional involvement. This secrecy has led to accusations that the SIT operation was designed to sacrifice low-level workers to protect a higher mastermind, the person critics are calling the Magnus Carlsen of the heist. Devotees gave their wealth to build an ideal society, but with the SIT report still hidden from the public, The construction of the Ram Mandir moves forward, while the full truth behind the theft remains out of reach.